By a vote of 2-2, come on down. Hello, Nate.
Hi.
As the Omni, you have the opportunity to break the tie. You must now immediately decide to either Rapture, Charlie, or Lydia.
So coming down the stairs, I see JoJo and I am absolutely shook. That was kind of like one of my real close allies in this game. And I'm just really confused how it could possibly be a tie between Lydia and Charlie. When I had originally chose to save Trevor, Dresden, Javan, as well as JoJo, we had all made a plan that, you know, if I save you four from going in and one of you gets struck down, the other three just need to put their votes on that player to save them, and all will be good. We'll be in the top 6 and we'll be running this game. So this wasn't really, I guess, my plan, but obviously there was some shady business going on, so I'm going to save Lydia, which means Charlie will be raptured. I chose to save Lydia. I just felt like Charlie was a bigger threat. I didn't know if he did something shady, but I know the people that I was working with didn't do something right, so my back kind of fell against the wall, and I was like, even though he could be a player to work with, I don't know if he orchestrated this whole thing, so he's probably gonna go at this point.
Whoa, this is the top 6.
Weight Watchers, we've lost a lot of weight.
Charlie chose to vote to save JoJo, forcing a tie. That was a little scary because it had not yet been revealed what would happen in case of a tie. Moments later, Nate, the Omni, comes down the stairs and he is going to break the tie, and as soon as they revealed that, I knew I was good, and I was like, I can't believe how I made it through this double that seemed like the sure end of my game. But I had a really good rapport with Nate. I had thrown so many comps in the beginning. Charlie had made himself so much bigger of a target than I was at this point, so I knew the logical thing he would do was save me.
Then it would only be the people in the pits voting? Like
And one
3
person.
people. Oh, and one
No, it
person.
would still be 2.
We are in the top 6, and we are 3 rounds away before I could be sitting in one of those 3 seats and becoming the winner of the first season of the Golden Gates. I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm that close, and because I'm that close, I feel like I have to keep going forward because I can almost taste the finale.
Well, like
5 people voting this round.
If
also,
one person
if
gets
nobody
safety
gets
along with the Omni.
Oh, if nobody gets safety.
If nobody gets safety, go up.
Yeah.
But
Then it would
the,
be
like the first couple people.
We get to final 6. Charlie and JoJo just left. The big JoJo move was just made. With the same revelation knowing I have to work with Lydia to keep moving forward, I also felt I had to work with Noah to keep moving forward because the jury hates him. I don't think I'm a superstar with the jury, but I know that Noah isn't. So if he's next to me up there, that's a bonus. So I'm like, okay, I want to save Jaden and Noah, and if possible, Lydia, but that's the top 2.
Welcome, contenders. You've made it to the final 6. It is time to watch your next Omni video. Congratulations on making it to round 10 and your 9th Omni trial, titled Rainbow Rings. In this competition, you'll each get 2 rings and 1 cone the color assigned to you. The goal is to toss these rings onto your individual cone while standing behind the line. If you miss, you'll be responsible for fetching your own rings, so aim carefully. The first to successfully hoop both of your rings onto your cone will fly on the rainbow and become this round's Omni. Are you ready?
No. So 2 of my closest allies in this entire game since day 1 just went out back to back in a double, and I know my ass is up against the wall. So hopefully these rings are going on my finger because we need a championship.
Three, 2, 1, ring!
So for this challenge, it is a rainbow ring toss. And what we're supposed to do is we stand on the edge of the deck and we're trying to fit these rings onto the cone that's about 20-ish feet away. And my strategy is just to lean as far off of the deck as possible and not do cardio. Don't run because that's going to affect my throwing.
The next Omni is this rainbow ring toss, and we have to get our ring onto a cone. And I'm looking at who's left, and I'm like, if every single person here, except for maybe Nate, is probably happy with that move that I just made. So I was okay with whatever. I was happy if Lydia or Noah won, maybe they'd go for Nate. Maybe it's time to get Nate out, the biggest competitor in this game that's left socially and strength-wise too.
So clearly things have changed with JoJo leaving the house and Charlie being gone. I don't really necessarily know what happened, but clearly we're just going right into our next Omni, and I'm very excited for this one because it kind of reminds me of the challenge where we were taking water and running across the yard that I won, and also mixing it with the beer pong that I just won.
I need my first Omni. I need to put Nate in his place, and I need to start calling the shots for my game to show the jury, hey, I came in, my ass was against the wall, and I did what it took to get to the end.
This is definitely why I'm a catch.
If someone doesn't win this competition soon, I'm gonna probably lose allies because I am aiming everywhere but my cone. I am throwing my ring and it's aiming towards Nate's cone. It's aiming towards Noah's cone. At one point I threw one and it hit Javan in the head. So, before anyone else gets hurt, someone just needs to win this competition so I can just stop doing what I'm doing right now.
So we're throwing these rings and trying to land them on the cones, and I had a couple close shots and we kept throwing and we were winded.
Oh my god, I freaking won. I was getting nervous there for a second. I got my first ring on pretty early, so I was just trying to stay as calm as possible, but I knew I was retrieving my ring faster than anybody else was, and I knew I had a pretty good grip on like how to toss it. It was just a matter of if I could get it on there, and I fucking won. Second challenge in a row, and I'm super excited. I think I've just really had like a really eventful past few weeks of just like winning Omni during a double elimination, sending people down, breaking a tie, now winning another challenge, and I'm like, oh, I am really taking off in this game. And at this point, now that people see I'm such a big threat, I have to win every fucking challenge from here on out, or they're most likely gonna drag me down.
Congratulations, Nate. You have won Omni.
I feel like Nate has to go. Everybody's in line to talk to Nate. Yay! Fuck that, I'm sitting on the couch. I know I'm going in. She literally got voted who will win this game. This is no, where did we look right here? Oh. Who will win this season? Nate. Is anybody gonna do anything about it?
Here we are. Nate wins again. But it may not be a bad thing for my game. If anything, he is making that target on his back bigger and bigger. And if he's the bigger target in this game, if he becomes a bigger threat in this game, that makes me look less threatening. So I'm fine with it.
So Nate ends up winning the competition, and I've been working with Nate the past few rounds very closely, but Trevor and Dresden and I start to realize that he is extremely close to the jury members, and he is going to win this game if he gets any further.
So basically what happened was Lydia and Charlie pulled each one of us aside and was like, we're gonna make it a tie. So basically go in a tie and it's gonna go, who knows what happens. You guys could get pulled in, maybe us three turn around and vote one of you two. Nate wins, and I'm like, I might go up. I just kind of voted not how I was supposed to, but I'm fully aware that I'll probably get the votes to say, or I can just win a competition and get back up into the Golden Gates.
Right now my mind isn't made up. I don't really have the intentions of putting you down. If I do, I'll definitely tell you, but I'm definitely gonna put no down, which.
But he comes and he tells me, hey, I'm keeping you safe. I didn't even ask to be safe. He tells me he's keeping me safe, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? He shouldn't trust me. I just lied to him. I just got someone out. But you still trust me? Like, okay, let's go with it then. You're this big superstar player, but you're trusting the wrong people.
Me and Trevor had like a long discussion, ultimately between us. And we didn't want it to tie at all whatsoever.
So this week, choosing my players to go down into the pits was a little difficult. I didn't really get a good idea of what happened the week before. I didn't really have much time to. I was talking with Trevor and Dresden, and I tried to just kind of give them the benefit of the doubt because they kind of went against the plan. They both had voted Lydia, and Trevor's telling me that he wanted it to be a tie, and Dresden's telling me they didn't know it was going to be a tie.
And they ended up voting for each other, which kind of threw us a wrench and ended up tying the vote anyway.
So I'm just like really kind of confused, but I also don't know if I can trust Noah more than I can trust those two. I didn't know where Lydia was at because they just saved her.
Like, one of us has to go into the pits.
It's so hard.
Obviously, Noah's like in my ear about like, oh, Nate's like the biggest competitor. Everybody loves him. He hasn't been in the pits. All that stuff.
So I get to talk to Nate, and he explains to me his thought process on who he would like to put into the pits.
I was thinking leaning a little bit more towards you, if I'm being honest, only because I think that you could win the comp and get safety and not even have to be in the position to be drugged down.
So Nate talks to me, and he explains his decision on putting me in the pits because me being in the pits guarantees me a 33% chance of getting safety, but if I were outside of the pits, I would have a 50% chance of getting dragged down.
I would probably get drugged down.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So like, it's either now I go into the pits or like a little bit later I go into the pits.
And then I also, Javan was the other player that I had the option to choose from. And out of all those players, I figured that Javan could probably win the ceremony for the pits group. So I wanted to put him down there because the person that you don't put down, I assumed was going to be dragged down into the pits. So I figured giving Javan a 33% chance to win safety was better than a 50% chance of being drugged down.
If you put me in the pits, like, no hard feelings, obviously. Like, it's been done before the last 3 rounds. So if we want to go for a record, and maybe I could beat Javan's record of being in the pits and surviving. So now that I'm going into my 4th round in a row in the pits, I'm starting to feel like the new Javan, and I will gladly accept this crown as the Queen of Hell with Javan as my king.
Welcome to your top 6 ascension. Thank you, Nate. Come on in and tell us who you're gonna drag down to the pits.
Well, so the first name is Noah. Sorry to send you down again. I think it's awesome that even though you're out first, you're still here at the top 6 with all of us. So I think you can fight your way back. Lydia will be my next one. I think even though you've lost all of your alliance members and have been stranded by yourself, you've still fought tooth and nail to be the only girl in the top 6, so you should be very proud of that. I think you'll continue to do that. And Javan, the girl that done 5 pits for this season, and you made it through everyone, so I don't think that there will be any difference in this one either. So I wish you guys the best of luck, and I'm so sorry, but kick ass down there. So back in the Omni, 2 in a row, it feels great. I'm like, you know what, this is a pretty good way to start this week. I'm feeling really good about where I'm at as far as with the jury. They all seem to really like me, but I'm also noticing that other players are catching on to how much the jury likes me. So I'm like, I need to not only win every challenge to make sure I'm not up for elimination, but I need to also make sure I win every challenge so that these players aren't coming up here and spending time with the jury and learning about how much they like me.
Hello, 5 of the final 6. Nate has 1 Omni and put 3 of you in the pits. That means there's 2 people in limbo. Let's explain the rules for the safety competition. In this competition, the 5 of you will be newscasters from the Golden Gates. Welcome to Holy Hell News. One at a time, you will each get to read and watch a news prompter from today's news that lets citizens of the Golden Gates know what's going on in their community. You will then head to the confessional and read the same news prompter live on the air. But there's a catch. There was a glitch in the newsroom, and it seems some of the words are missing. Whoever reads the news prompter and correctly fills in the most gaps will win safety inside of the Golden Gates. Since there's only 2 of you currently in limbo, the one who gets the lowest score in this competition will be the only contender left to drag in the pits. They will then be joining the 2 contenders who lost their chance at redemption as the 3 cursed ones. That also means there will only be 3 votes to save this round, all coming from inside of the pits. This time, the only ones you can rely on are the very people who you are up against in the vote, as you cannot vote to save yourself. Any questions?
So we figure out how the next round works for safety is that one of me and Dresden is going to be safe, and then one person from the pits is going to be safe, and then there's an auto drag down. Whoever between me and Dresden isn't safe is going in the vote, and there's only going to be 3 votes. And the only 3 people voting this round are the 3 people in the pits.
Good evening and welcome to Holy Hell News from the Holy Hell News Network. I'm your anchor, Mr. Gates. Tonight's top story. Famed delivery service Hermes Home Delivery is in the middle of a fiery scandal. CFO Mercury is headed to trial accused of embezzling $34 billion from the company over the past 12 millennia. Founded in 1327 BC, Hermes Home Delivery is the top distributor of home goods, fresh food, and much, much more. Mercury was hired on as CFO during the company's ascension to top delivery service. Mercury claims, "It's not my fault, I was just in retrograde." His trial is set for later this year. In weather, a storm of biblical proportions is expected to hit Columbus this week. Zeus will be hosting his annual Strongman Lightning competition, and as a result, high winds and heavy rains are expected to pepper the city starting Wednesday night. This year's event is expected to attract a crowd of famous out-of-towners including Indra, Jupiter, and Lightning McQueen. The city is urging everyone to stock their emergency arcs with clean water, sustainable food, and enough catnip to last for 7 days and 7 nights. In sports, the New Jersey Devils are headed to town to face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets for a spot in the playoffs. While the Blue Jackets have had a great season, it is rumored that the Devils superfan Persephone has a few tricks up her sleeve to secure a spot in the finals. When asked about these rumors, Persephone said, quote, "Everything is better in hell." For Holy Hell News, I'm Mr. Gates. Good night and good luck.
So going into this Holy Hell News round, I'm actually really stoked because I have loved weather my whole life and I've actually done some weather forecasting on my Instagram before.
Hello and welcome to Javan Central Ohio Weather Reports.
Because I've always wanted to be a weatherman, broadcast meteorologist growing up.
And now, reporting live from Holy Hell News. It's the Power of Redemption competition with your anchors, Lucifer, Hallelujah, and Venus Envy.
Good evening and welcome to Holy Hell News from the Holy Hell News Network. I'm your anchor, Hallelujah.
Good evening and welcome to Holy Hell News from the Holy Hell News Network. I'm your anchor, Venus Envy.
Good evening and welcome to Holy Hell News from the Holy Hell News Network. I'm your anchor, Lucifer. Tonight's top story, famed delivery service. Hermes Home Delivery is in the middle of a fiery scandal. CFO Mercury is headed to the trial accused of embezzling $34 billion from the company over the past 12 millennia.
Tonight's top story, famed delivery service Hermes Home Delivery is in the middle of a fiery CFO Mercury is headed to the trial accused of embezzling $34 billion from the company over the past 12 millennia. Founded in 1327 BC, Hermes Home Delivery is the top distributor of home goods, fresh food, and much, much more.
Hermes Home Delivery is in the middle of a fiery... Oh God. CFO Mercury is head to trial accused of embezzling $34 million from the company over the past 12 millennia. Founded in 1327 BC, Hermes Home Delivery is the top distributor of home goods, fresh food, and much, much more.
Founded in 1327 BC, Hermes Home Delivery is the top distributor of home goods, fresh food, and much, much more.
Mercury was hired on as CFO during the company's ascension to top delivery service. Mercury claims, "It's not my fault. I was just in Retrograde." His trial is set for later this year.
Mercury claims it's not my fault, I was just in retrograde. His trial is set for later this year.
Mercury claims, "It's not my fault. I was just in a scandal again?" His trial is set for later this year.
In weather, a storm of biblical proportions is expected to hit Columbus this week. We'll be hosting this annual Strongman Lightning competition, and as a result, high winds and heavy rain are expected to pepper the city starting Wednesday night.
In weather, a storm of biblical proportions is set to hit Columbus this week. Hermes will be hosting his annual Strongman Lightning competition, and as a result, high winds and heavy rain are expected to hit Columbus, the city's. Expected to, yeah.
In weather, a storm of biblical proportions is expected to hit Columbus this week. Miss Girl will be hosting his annual Strongman Lightning competition, and as a result, high winds and heavy rain are expected to batter the city starting Wednesday night.
This year's event is expected to attract a crowd of famous out-of-towners including Indra, Jupiter, and Lightning McQueen. The city is urging everyone to stock their emergency arcs with clean water, sustainable food, and enough catnip to last for 7 days and 7 nights.
The city is urging everyone to stock their emergency arcs with clean water, sustainable food, and enough, for 7 days.
The city is urging everyone to stock their emergency arcs with clean water, sustainable food, and enough food again to last for 7 days and 7 nights.
In sports, the New Jersey Devils are headed to town to face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets for a spot in the playoffs.
In sports, the New Jersey Devils are headed to town to face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets for a spot in the playoffs.
In news, the New Jersey Devils are headed to town to face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets for a spot in the playoffs. While the Blue Jackets have had a great season, it is rumored that Devils superfan Miss Girl has a few tricks up her sleeve to secure a spot in the finals when asked about these rumors. Persephone said, quote, "Everything is better in hell."
While the Blue Jackets have had a great season, it is rumored that Devils superfan Persephone has a few tricks up her sleeve to secure a spot in the finals.
It is rumored that the Devils superfan Blank has had a few tricks up her sleeve to secure a spot in the finals. When asked about these rumors, Persephone said, quote, "Even everything is better in Retrograde."
When asked about these rumors, Persephone said, quote, "Everything is better in hell."
For Holy Hell News, I'm Venus Envy. Good night and good luck.
For Holy News Network, I'm Hallelujah. Good night and good luck.
For Holy Hell News, I'm Lucifer. That's my name. Good night and good luck.
And now, let's jump over to the Power of Protection competition. With your anchors, Hera Majesty and Noah Zark.
Good evening and welcome to Holy Hell News from the Holy Hell News Network. I'm your anchor, Hera Majesty.
Good evening and welcome to Holy Hell News from the Holy Hell News Network. I'm your anchor, Noah Zark.
Tonight's top story, Fame Delivery Service. Hermes Home Delivery is in the middle of a fiery retrograde. CFO Mercury is headed to trial accused of embezzling $34 billion from the company over the past 12 millennia.
Hermes Home Delivery is in the middle of a fiery rain.
Founded in 1327 BC, Columbus Home Delivery is the top distributor of home goods, fresh food, and much more.
Founded in 1327 BC, Hermes Home Delivery is the top distributor of home goods, fresh food, and much more.
Mercury was hired on as CFO during the company's ascension to top delivery service. Mercury claims, "It's not my fault. I was just in hell."
Mercury claims, "It's not my fault. I was just in retrograde." His trial is set for later this year.
In weather, a storm of biblical proportions is expected to hit Columbus this week. Persephone will be hosting his annual Strongman Lightning competition, and as a result, high winds and heavy rain are expected to storm the city starting Wednesday night.
Zeus will be hosting his annual Strongman Lightning competition, and as a result, high winds and heavy rain are expected to pepper the city.
The city is urging everyone to stock their emergency arcs with clean water, sustainable food, and enough candles to last for 7 days and 7 nights.
And enough catnip to last for 7 days and 7 nights.
In sports, the New Jersey Devils are headed to town to face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets for a spot in the playoffs.
While the Blue Jackets have had a great season, it is rumored that the Devils superfan Persephone has a few tricks up her sleeve to secure a spot in the finals.
It is rumored that the Devils superfan Persephone has a few tricks up her sleeve to secure a spot in the finals. When asked about these rumors, Persephone said, quote, "Everything is better in hell."
When asked about these rumors, Persephone said, quote, "Everything is better in hell." For Holy Hell News, I'm Noah's Ark. Good night and good luck.
For Holy Hell News, I'm Hera Majesty. Good night and good luck.
I loved this challenge with the teleprompter kind of like weatherman feel. It was so fun, and I knew that memory and words and all that is one of my strong suits.
Okay, so I'm going to be showing y'all the results. They will appear randomly, and then I will be giving the one player between Dresden and Trevor who's safe, and the one player between the 3 cursed ones who's safe.
I think a lot of us in this game have acclimated to being what it is to be a news reporter. I mean, we are going from person to person, reporting intel about the game. So maybe we'll all do good at this, or maybe we'll all flop, look embarrassing, and want to cry afterwards.
Holy Hell News. Power of Protection, Power of Redemption. Javan and Noah, you lost the Power of Redemption. Dresden, you lost the Power of Protection.
I'm thinking to myself, maybe being a newscaster just isn't for me.
That means Lydia and Trevor, you have one safety. Congratulations, Lydia. Congratulations, Trevor.
So I win the Holy Hell News competition and once again have secured my own safety. And it is so clutch at this point because from now on, I'm just going to have to assume that I'm going in the pits every round. And I really have no one left. But my own safety is number one priority, and I'm so glad I'm safe this round.
That means that Dresden, as the loser of the power protection, you are the only option to drag. You are now in the pits. As you can see, there's literally only 3 of you left, and you're all in the pits. What happens will be up to you. Good luck. We'll give you a few minutes to strategize and have your one-on-ones with each other.
So Trevor wins safety, and I'm really, really happy for him. But it means that Dresden automatically gets dragged down with me. And I've been working with Dresden this whole game, and I'm really, really close with him.
One vote to stay in looking in the eye right now.
I have this one-on-one with Noah, where this is the first time I've had to lie straight to someone's face and tell them that I am voting to keep them when I am absolutely not doing that.
So I pull Javan aside and I say, listen, regardless what happens, you vote me, I vote you. I've scratched your back so many times in this fucking game, Javan. You owe me one.
So I'm not trusting you, like one bit. I trust you completely. So
Same here, so I'm voting for you to stay. You already know that. I like
nothing,
Noah, but
nothing
that's
that
what
I
it
tell
is.
him is going to convince me.
He's all over the place. So.
He's always about.
This is the part of the game where things get tricky, and I'm ultimately finding that my strategy does have its dark spots. He is going to vote for me to stay, I believe. And so that would mean that I would have a choice of either save him or save me. But I want to be completely transparent. I am very heavily considering voting to keep you back. Actually, that would be really pissed at me. I'm friends with Noah. I knew Noah before, like I knew who Noah was. We've been friends, and I knew who he was whenever we started playing this game. So because he's my friend, of course, we were gonna play together.
And guess what? He's the next threat to me.
I think so. We have him in the pits now, and basically the cards are in our hands. Like I've been working the favorites. I feel bad, but he's a threat, and he's somebody that I don't think that I can get. So we're voting for each other.
I know, regardless, Javan and Dresden both vote me to stay here. I don't have to campaign. I don't have to talk to either of them. And I'm just sitting pretty. And hopefully, Dresden's legit because he hasn't made any moves. So let's take out a power player in Javan right here, right now.
I have this alliance with Javan. In my mind, I'm hurting somebody's feelings. I hope Javan would respect that I am being loyal to a friend. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I may not even have my mind made up until I'm sitting in the voting booth.
I will vote for Dresden. Dresden will hopefully vote for me. And then it won't matter who Noah votes for because Dresden and I should be safe at that point.
Hello, all you voters over there. Now, as always, you get a chance to plead your case for a few seconds. No one at the table, so Noah, if you'd like to talk to your fellow cursed ones about why you should stay.
I think I've made it abundantly clear at the beginning of this round where my mind is moving forward. I think that in terms of making that dream a reality for all of us, I'm going balls to the walls on this next comp. Let's just kumbaya. But I do love you both, regardless what happens. You both have literally been probably the core members of my journey since coming back into this game. And I could not have been here without either of you. So, that's that.
Dresden?
Alrighty. Okay, so I'll address both of you. It's very unfortunate that I'm sitting here with the two of you. Whatever happens, just know I do have love for the both of you all. And nothing is personal whatsoever.
Okay, Jada?
Hate to be in this position again. Like, you guys are not people that I want to be sitting next to down here at all. Yeah, nothing personal. It's just game and we have to vote, so.
Okay, thank you, the three of you. We are now going to go to the stairs.
I have to stay true to my OG final two. I gotta save Dresden.
Thank you.
Have to.
I'm tired of saving Javan. I'll go to save Dresden.
Hello. I feel like I'm like ruining a jury vote, but maybe I can get him to come around in the event that I get to the end. I'm voting to save.
Hello, cursed ones. During this rapture where you are the only three ones who can vote. The vote was 2 to save, 1 to save, and 0 to save. The player with 2 votes to save, Dresden, you are safe. You can take off your horns. The one who is saved from the pits and in the final 5 is Javan. You have 1 vote to save. And Noah, you have been raptured from the game.
I'm voting to save Javan.
Thank you.
Sorry, Noah.
Would you like to say a few words?
If this is your big move, this is Sue's big move from Survivor Australia, and it's non-existent.
This isn't a big move.
Alright.
It's not a big move.
Win a comp for once.
I'll try.
We'll definitely do that.
Since day 1 of this game, it's been written on the refrigerator. Who will win this game? Nate. Dresden doing Nate's work. Javan doing Nate's work. Lydia, let's be real, she hasn't done anything ever since Jon left the house. But guess what? I'm here to tank Nate's game. Nate, thanks for the juice box, but the last of your anti-sheep is here.
Thanks for the wine. All right,